were to pick one thing that you would fix in the sort of California governing system, in these areas we're talking about, to fix in the next 5 years, what would it be?
Term limits has really been detrimental to the institutional knowledge and the collegiality that was once in Sacramento.
I'd eliminate the ability for initiative gatherers to have paid initiative gatherers out there.
Changing the two-thirds rules for the adoption of a budget and also for raising revenues.
Is incremental reform through the initiative process a process that can get us to a comprehensive reform?
Currently, incremental change of that kind is the only thing that's available to us.
A lot of what's in the current system came in through the initiative process, multiple initiatives over time, and multiple constitutional amendments adopted by the voters, and the legislature can't change that.
Very much a sad commentary that there is no trust. There's only allegiance to your caucus, and it's gotten too much like Washington, D.C.
Restoring accountability to the budget vote, to passing a budget, is just too important of an opportunity to miss.
I think the simple majority budget alone, this is the time to do it. If we're going to reform these things and get some common sense in the budgeting process and some real fiscal responsibility, I think it has to be a comprehensive approach to the issue.
This state is full of entities that are engaged in providing services to people who desperately depend on those services, who have not had a dime from the state of California in 4 months.
Would a state-local realignment, and I think what most people are talking about is something that gives more power to locals, different definitions how you do it, would that make government more effective?
I think what it does is it makes government more accountable.
After many, many years, we're at a point where there is a complete disconnect between local and regional level responsibility and delivery of services and revenue.
We need to return more control over the say of how funds are managed and controlled to the local officials that are closest to home.
If you gave more power to these local governments, which might be scary, you know, when you think of something like Bell to raise revenues, might you get greater accountability because it scares people into being engaged in their local government?
What I would like to see is more revenue generating capacity, generally more decision making at the local level, but also with an understanding that there are vulnerable constituencies that just can't be left to the mercy of local political establishments that may have absolutely no concern whatsoever for their needs or survival.
What are a few, maybe even one, effective way to get the kind of community engagement you need on this issue?
If you question for a moment whether your elected representative in the Senate or the Assembly cares what you think, they care. So please communicate with them and let them know when there are things that you want them to do.
You pick the kind of organization you're comfortable with, neighborhood organization, business organization, labor organization, arts organization, whatever you like, but it is through your organizational framework, getting it more energized, getting it more involved, getting it more concerned about reform, getting it more concerned about tax and revenue issues, getting it more concerned about whatever you care about, that has to be the basis of forming constituencies that are going to make change.
For those of us who are deeply interested, and I assume we're deeply interested because we got up early on a Saturday morning to be here, that we take that and we share it with other people once we've left here. And spending 15 minutes a day sharing our passion with others for civic engagement will indeed make a difference.